name is Ellen. I'm really excited to be taking over ITA's Instagram today and showing you a day in my life here in Seville, Spain. A little bit about me before we start. I'm from the United States. I studied education at university there and was a teacher before completing ITA's online course and moving to Seville, Spain. Here I teach with the NALCAP program in a primary school, so I'll be showing you a little bit of that too. I'm going to leave a question box on the next slide. If you have any questions for me, I will be answering them throughout the day and showing you around. So I'm on my way to school right now. I have to take 2 buses to get there because my school is in a pueblo outside of the city, but the bus and metro system is very easy here, really well connected. I have 3 classes today, English and 2 science classes, so I will catch up on a break or after school. So this really depends on your school and the schedule, but my classes are 1 hour long and I'm always with another teacher. There is a curriculum for science and for English, the classes that I teach. I tend to plan cultural activities and speaking activities based around the books and the curriculum. Okay, that being said, I should also mention that with NALCAP, it is only 12 hours of work a week. So 12 hours of direct teaching time. I do have some breaks in there for planning. I'll share my schedule on the next one. Yes, all of my co-teachers speak English because they are also teaching in English. The job of an AUX is to provide a native level of English speaking in the classroom and conversation practice. So that being said, it's still important to know some Spanish to get by. Maybe not at your school, but just for daily life. You also have a coordinator at your school, just like your boss or your go-to person, and they will speak English too. So there's a lot of other programs in Spain other than NALCAP. I'll list as many as I can on the screen here that I can think of or know of. But other than that, most places, most schools, companies don't really sponsor work visas here. So you really have to come in through a student visa with some sort of a program. All right, I am done with work for the day. I'm gonna head to the bus and go to my second job. I think that's a good segue to start talking about finances. I got a lot of questions about that. So I'm gonna post my monthly budget breakdown and then kind of elaborate on that after. So right now in Seville, AUXes are getting 700 euros a month, and that is definitely livable if you budget. But I would say most, if not all, AUXes have a second job, either tutoring, working at an academy, something like that, teaching online. So there's definitely time for it, and it's always good to have some extra cash. Congrats, that's so exciting. Placements are coming out soon, so good luck. So how much do you recommend having saved pre-move? It's recommended to have about 5,000 in savings for accommodation while you're trying to find a place, or startup moving costs. But I would honestly check and do some research on your region, because if you're in a place where the cost of living is higher, you're probably going to need a little bit more, but they tend to recommend 5,000. So I'm with my friend Sarah. She's also a language assistant here, and she taught at a primary school last year, and now she's in high school. So
What do you think is the difference between the classes or anything else notable?
I think the main difference is the variety of classes that you can teach in a high school is a lot more. For example, I teach PE and philosophy rather than just English and science. And most of my students speak a very high level of English, so that's a pretty big difference from primary school. So if you don't speak a lot of Spanish, I would definitely recommend going to a high school your first year because it's a lot easier to communicate with the students and with the teachers.
So here's my bedroom. The whole apartment came furnished, so I didn't have to buy any of this furniture, which is really nice. I do have a double bed, a wardrobe here, and a desk area. Here's my view. I do have 3 other roommates. This is a 4-bedroom apartment, and I share a bathroom with 2 of them. So definitely have enough space, and for $200 a month, this is really good. Yes, you absolutely have time to travel around Spain or other countries in Europe while you're here. You normally have a 3-day weekend, so a lot of people will leave, for example, Thursday after school whenever you're done. Then you have Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday, and then back to school on Monday. It can be tiring, but that's part of the experience of coming here and living, working, and getting to experience a different way of life and a different culture. All right, this is a really good question. How honed were your skills in English grammar? Honestly, I was kind of worried about this at first too, since, as a native English speaker, you don't really think about the grammar structures that you're using, you just speak. But it's really not something you need to worry about too much. When you're planning for the week, my suggestion would be to collaborate with your co-teachers, ask them what grammar is going to be taught or used in these lessons, and then just give yourself a little refresher if you need to, and you should be good. That's what I've done, and I've honestly learned a lot more just doing this job. So if it's something that you're really worried about, though, I know that ITA does offer a grammar course in addition to the TOEFL certification, so that could be something to look into too.